på aftenen, hvor vi besøger nogle af dem.
Denne fodboldreligion og den syndige tilhængere, som har afstedkommet så mange tragedier, ødelæggelser, sår og andre tab for hundreder eller tusinder. Er en hooligan ond, eller vil han bare oven i hooliganismens under høre sine egne ordgyderier? Fuck, bastard, idiot, afhængighed, familie, kultur.
Men uanset om man er hooligan eller roligan, hvad er det så for nogle ritualer eller instinkter, der styrer os, når vi bevæger os ind på et fodboldstadion? Det har den engelske adfærdsforsker Desmond Morris nogle rigtig gode bud på.
I'm a zoologist who studies the human animal. Recently, I've been looking at a particular kind of human animal, the members of the soccer tribe. Now, in order to understand the significance of this game, one has to go right back to the beginning, to those primeval times when men hunted prey. And groups of cooperative male hunters would set off in a band to aim at a prey and kill it. Later on, when we became farmers, hunting became a kind of sport, a blood sport. And then blood sports were replaced by ball sport. One of the problems for a referee is deciding just how badly a player has been hurt. And it's not an easy thing to do. And I'm afraid these days there are quite a few theatrical moments that he has to penalise himself. Now, the point is, though, that he's also got to remember that it is a very dangerous game. When the players protect themselves as they form a wall, it's easy to see which part of their bodies they value most highly, more perhaps than their brains. Now, if things get really out of hand and the referee has to do something more serious in the way of intervening, then he performs his rather special traffic light display. And he has this signal in which he brings out a red card for danger, saying, "That's it, you've committed such a serious foul, I'm sending you off altogether." Or he can simply bring out his yellow card, his warning card, saying, "Now you've been a very bad boy, and if you're a bad boy again, then I will send you off." Now here comes a nasty foul. There it is, and the referee is rushing in to perform his traffic light display, and there it goes, the yellow card warning number 7 here. And you notice number 7's arms, and let's watch as he walks away. He keeps his hands on his hips with his elbows sticking out on either side like two arrows pointing away from his body, saying, "Keep away from me, I'm antisocial, I'm fed up, I'm disgusted." Now, that particular posture, hands on hips, we also see almost every time when a team loses a goal. They all put their hands on the hips saying, "Keep away from me, I don't want to know you." It's a very common posture indeed.
Det er stort til røde, vi kan lave på Sivbæk. Der er faktisk ikke andet for Sivbæk at gøre, end at gå selv nu. Ja, der! John Sivbæks første landskampmål efter en solo-tur ned fra midterlinjen ved herligt bandespil med Michael Laudrup.
Now, after each of the goals, you notice the tribal heroes performing their triumph displays. All the hugging and embracing that's going on is in fact being borrowed from those very early days when children and their parents would hug and embrace one another simply as gestures of loving and friendship. They do quite a lot of things, as a matter of fact. We could run through them. For example, you see the arm going up, the arm aloft, or two arms aloft, and those actions make the triumphant player seem much taller. He may amplify that by leaping in the air at the same time. making himself seem much bigger and stronger. It's a typical display of a dominant animal. And he may clench his fist like this. Some people see that just as a sign of strength, showing his muscles. Others see it as a phallic forearm. Again, he may do an overarm beat like that. He may beat down with his fist, which is the primeval action of striking a blow. He struck a blow for his team, and so he acts it out unconsciously, not quite realizing that he is, in fact, performing this primeval act. A lot of the embracing and hugging also includes patting on the stomach or on the back or on the behind. Patting actions, again, borrowed from infancy, from childhood. Hair ruffling, the sort of thing that a father does to a small boy. You can see that, too. Sometimes that relates to a younger player, where they'll ruffle his hair as a form of congratulating him. But let's have a look at them now in slow motion. After it, you see the scoring sprint. The player has a sudden burst of energy and he rushes off in triumph, and his companions come up to him, and there, what's he going to do? A leap in the air, another leap in the air. It's very predictable. More embracing, shoulder embracing, embracing the neck, patting, arms out there for an embrace. That one only manages a pat, because now it's getting towards the end of the triumph display. That one, too, just has a pat on the back, because now they have to move away and start the game again. And here, two arms aloft, right up. I'm 10 feet tall, he says, at this particular moment, and it also invites the embrace. And here you see the cheek pat and the hair ruffle, another neck embrace, and the hair's being ruffled again. This is a young player, and he's getting a lot of attention, because this is the first time he's scored for his country, and he's being treated like a wonderful little boy who is to be congratulated and have his hair ruffled and his body embraced.
Elker is pulling in to make contact. Here's Berggren. Elker, 4-4 for Denmark.
The tribal followers, the fans and the supporters, they're just as important to the tribe as the heroes, because without them, there would be no atmosphere. It may be the heroes on the pitch who are getting the glory when they win the game, but on the terraces and in the grandstands, the followers are also having a very exciting time. For them, the excitement comes from a sense, a very powerful sense of belonging to a group. And in order to increase this sense of belonging, they perform a lot of synchronized displays. They synchronize their movements, and they synchronize their singing and their chanting. And it varies from place to place. In British football, for example, there is a lot of synchro clapping. That is clapping done over the head, and it's done in a synchronized way like this. Now, when I do that by myself, it doesn't sound much. But when you have 1,000 people doing it together, it sounds very powerful indeed. And film analysis has shown that that clapping is synchronized to less than 1/64th of a second. And those are the people that some writers call a disorganized rabble. They're not really very disorganized if they can be that synchronized. They also have special visual displays when they hold their colored scarves like this and wave from side to side, or they twirl them around their heads, or they say 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, all of them doing it together. Now, in the Danish ranks of the Danish followers, we find they have developed a particular kind of swaying in which they all sway together like this, synchronizing their movements from side to side. And in this way, the tribal followers enjoy an immense sense of tribal belonging.
Når man står herinde i parken og varmer op til slaget om København, så kan man godt genkende noget af det, som Desmond Morris siger. Lige nu er der lidt under en time til kick-off, og spændingen er ved at stige herinde. Stemningen, den er rigtig god. Men Men sådan er det jo desværre ikke altid. Nu skal vi skrue tiden 21 år tilbage til maj 1985 på Heysel Stadion i Bruxelles.
Glade fodboldfans er på vej ind på Heysel Stadion for at se Europacup-finalen for mesterhold